Mahalo everyone, and welcome to another deck video here on the Jolly Scarecrows channel. Today I'm going to be presenting for you a Red Eyes Burn deck. It's a total cheesy FTK. You can win with just 3 spell cards if you draw right. It's not the most consistent thing in the world, but if you want a kind of simple deck to play really, that can, from out of nowhere, pull out a win before your opponent has even got time to play anything, then this might be the deck for you if you do love Red Eyes. How does it work? Well, you're basically going to be after 3 spell cards, one of which is your Red Eyes Fusion, a card we all know pretty well, and you're going to be trying to fusion summon Meteor Black Comet Dragon specifically. So there's an underrated effect of Red Eyes Fusion. I say underrated, it's because most people ignore it. The fusion monster that you summon is classed as Red Eyes Black Dragon for the turn. And that will become important later. So Meteor Black Comet Dragon, when it's summoned, send a Red Eyes monster from your deck to your graveyard, or hand actually, and you'll inflict damage to your opponent equal to half of its attack. And ideally, you'll want to be sending base Red Eyes or Red Eyes Tomb Dragon to be inflicting at least 1,000 points of damage, so you'll get 1,200 points off. And that's because the effect of Inferno Fire Blast is that you can target a Red Eyes in your main monster zone, so don't put it in the extra deck. The extra monster zone, because I've seen that happen, and that's not very fun. And you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of that Red Eyes Black Dragon, which is 3,500. So if you've inflicted 1,000 points of damage when you've summoned Meteor Black Comet Dragon, all you have to do is play 2 copies of Inferno Fire Blast to win the game. Simple. How do we do that? So we're obviously only running 3 of these, and we're going to try and use the best cards we can to replicate its effect. There's one of the best ways of doing that, or pretty much the only way of doing that, is Serial Spell. So if you play a normal spell card, you can discard your entire hand to the graveyard, and Serial Spell will duplicate that effect. So if you have in your hand Inferno Fire Blast, Serial Spell, Red Eyes Fusion, you can win with that, providing your opponent doesn't disrupt it. We're also playing a copy of, if you want a true meme, Left Arm Offering. Check this out. If you have 2 or more cards in your hand, banish your whole hand and get 1 spell card from your deck. So for this play to work, you have to fusion summon the Meteor Black Comet Dragon, play Inferno Fire Blast, and then play Left Arm Offering to get the last copy of Inferno Fire Blast to win the game. The remainder of the deck is based around drawing. So we're running obviously 3 copies of Into the Void, which is allowed in Master Duel, 3 Pot of Desires, 2 cards of the Redstone, and only 1 copy of Sacred Sword of 7 Stars. The annoying thing about these 2 is that they can only be activated once per turn. I'm not quite sure why these can only be activated once per turn, but you can play 3 trade-in. It's a bit annoying, really. But yes, Cards of the Redstone has a nicer effect of letting you get rid of a Red Eyes monster from your deck, so it thins it slightly, so that's why we're running 2 of those. And 3 Allure as well. The problem with all the other pot cards is that they prevent you from special summoning, or they prevent you from using the extra deck, so we're having to use Desires, which obviously can run a bit of a risk, and you might banish your 2 copies of Meteor Dragon Red Eyes Impact, and then you're unable to play Meteor Black Comet Dragon because it needs a level 6 dragon monster. We're running 3 copies of Toon Table of Contents and 3 Tomb Dragon to cope with that, because basically you're going to be often having monsters in your hand that you're going to want to banish with Allure or with Cards of the Redstone. Plus, if you draw into 2 copies of Toon Table of Contents, they're not then dead weight. There are other cards that you can switch out in terms of draw. It's almost personal preference. Dark World Dealings, Hand Destruction, they're all completely valid, and it's more just about finding your own rhythm. Not many decks actually run Left Arm Offering, so you could run Hand Destructions in place of that and just try and search out that Serial Spell or that other copy of Inferno Fire Blast. So yeah, really, that's all there is to the deck. You're not really going to be using the extra deck at all, except for obviously Meteor Black Comet Dragon. You're actually barely ever going to normal summon, because you can't. We're running no monsters that you can normal summon in this deck. So, monsters are kind of redundant in this. Yeah, if you can think of a way to make this deck more consistent, I'm by all means happy to hear that. But otherwise, enjoy trying to cheese your opponent out. We're going to have some gameplay of how this works coming up for you on the channel very shortly. And yeah, see you for the next deck here on the Jolly Scarecrow's channel.